bringing you an upgraded graydle deck. Before I start the deck, I also want to mention that once I hit 25 subscribers, I'm giving away 100 Yugioh cards. I'll send it to the person that's a random winner in the subscriber list. I run graydles because it's a fun deck. People don't understand how fun it is until you take the other person's monster that's inside of you. And then you look on their face and realize what just happened. The best part is when you set them, you can't set this one of course because you can't get this one out yet, but you set a monster, they don't know what you're playing, so when they attack and they hit it, and all of a sudden you flip over a graydle monster and you take their monster, that's one of the best things you could do because the look on the face is priceless. So let's get down to what I run. Remember, I run graydle / kaiju this time, so it's an upgraded deck because I was getting my butt kicked, well, about 50-50 when I was running just graydles. I beat one person, but you come against like Cosmos and stuff, you don't stand a chance. So let's get down to it. I run 2 graydle slime. You need him because he's the tuner and he brings everything together. He brings your synchros out so fast. I'll show you some combos in a minute. Alright, I run 3 eagles. Eagles are good because monster effect targets them, sends them to graveyard. You can take the monster. Battle damage and send them to graveyard. Take their monster. Let me show you this combo real quick. So his effect, graydle slime's effect, is if he's in your hand or graveyard, you can activate his effect, take 2 graydle monsters, send them to the graveyard, you bring him out. When he comes out, his other second effect is he can bring 1 monster from the graveyard. So let's say you have 2 eagles out. You activate his effect, monster effect, sends these 2 to the graveyard. Due to monster effect, these 2 get sent to the graveyard and are able, both of them, are able to take a monster from your opponent. It's not once per turn, it's not anything, no restrictions. You get 2 monsters, 2 eagles, then you get him back out, synchro summon to a graydle dragon or something other synchro monster that I have in my extra deck. Now you have 3 monsters on the field. Deadly combo, and the person across from you probably has nothing unless he has traps, spells or anything. So I run 3 eagles. I only run 2 cobras. Due to cobras either by battle or by trap gets into the graveyard, I take the opponent's monster. Not too many people run like traps that send them to the graveyard. Some people do, some people don't. I find it more monster effects and more spells is what they send monsters to the graveyard with. That's why I run 3 alligators. Alligators are targeted by spells and by battle. Spell sends the alligator, take the monster. Regeki you, again spell. People run Regeki all the time. Regeki this, I take your monster, unless it cannot be targeted. Now, and that's why I'm going to bring into the other ones.
Now with the graydles, can you sit there and go kamikaze with it? Can you have a graydle and then attack your opponent and send it to the graveyard, do the battle phase, and take control of the monster?
Yes, actually that's a good question actually. I didn't even go over that right now. Yes, kamikaze graydles. Send them in for suicide. I love to send this one in for suicide only because he's got 1500, so I don't take a lot of damage. But say you're running a BLS and I want that BLS. Of course I do because it's a BLS. So I'm going to send this guy in, attack the BLS. He's going to go to the graveyard. I'm going to take that BLS. Unless he's got a super shield or something to stop me, I'm taking that BLS and then I'm going to beat you with the BLS. So yeah, you can send them in for suicides all the time. So that's a great question. And that's what these are kind of meant to do with the kaijus. So I run 3 Gamma-Seal, 3 Gamma-Seals. This is a good card for, he's got an effect, is if you have the waterfront on the field in play and you have 2 counters on there, you could take 2 counters off the waterfront, activate his effect, so anytime a monster effect or card effect is activated, take off 2, you activate his effect, and you banish that card. So you banish the cards that activate that, which is great because they don't go to the graveyards. Most cards go to the graveyards now and get their effect. This one just banishes. So I run 3 of him. I run 2 Radins. He's got a good effect too. It's not great. I don't pull him out all the time. He's not one of my go-to people. With the new box coming out, the box, I'm gonna go to some other graydle monsters in here. I might run 1 of him, but anyway, I take away. I believe it's 2 tokens. It could be 3. I could be wrong. you can remove, no, it's 2, so I was right. 2 tokens from the waterfront, and you can bring out a token of him. So, I'm saying tokens, they're counters. But you bring out a token. So, now you got an extra one of him on the field, and it keeps going, but it's once per turn, so it's not every turn. But it keeps going every turn, so you're going to have multiple of these. You can't use them to synchro. So then I run 3 of Dogoran. He's my heavy hitter of the deck. This is the one that if I have to, I'll commit suicide to on my graydles with a 3000 beater. Plus his effect is you remove 3 counters. I think like this one's a 3 counter. Sorry, I should know this more often, but I don't use the counters. It is 3. 3 counters. I could get rid of the monsters on the opponent's side of the deck, but he's not able to attack that turn. But it depends. I mean, how many monsters do you face as 3000 that I have to worry about or anything? Because most of the time I still want to get these guys out and attack and take their people's monsters. So I don't really do a lot of destroying. But when it comes down to it, like you get the pendulums, so you do want to destroy them. That's good. So let me show you some of these guys.
Now, question for the viewers. Now, with the new support for Bosch coming out, do you see yourself adding more kaijus and graydles, or are you gonna less your kaijus? Because you know kaiju dudes got their spell card, and along with like I think 2 or 3 other kaiju monsters just gotten released. So do you see yourself running more kaijus and graydles, or are you gonna stick with the same amount of graydles and switch up your kaiju?
No, I'll always stick with the same amount of graydles. I don't ever want to limit these guys because these guys are what's gonna bring what's gonna steal the monsters. These guys are gonna bring me my monsters back to my side of the field. These guys are for cards that cannot be targeted, like the Cosmos, Destroyer and stuff. I tribute them. That's my goal right now. I'm gonna tribute them to the side of the field and get rid of their monster. Hits the graveyard, whatever it goes. But this way, I'm allowed to attack my own people. So that's what I do. These guys, their effects, all their effects, I could tribute, special summon them on the opponent's side of the field by tributing their monster, which is what I want to do. And that's why I talk about suicide, where I can go in and kill with my own monster. But also, say that he's got an opponent. My opponent has somebody that I want to tribute. Sometimes I'll tribute him. Oh, tribute. I keep saying tribute. Sorry, it's not tribute. Special summon him. Tribute their monster. I say tribute because I tribute monsters. And I could special summon him on my side as long as my opponent controls a kaiju. So he comes out. I attack. I now have a 3000 beater on there with probably one of these guys for backup. Now you may be asking, how come I don't attack this and try to take control of both of them? The rules on the kaiju is you can only control one kaiju monster at a time. So as soon as I do that, it takes both these guys, takes them to the graveyard. So that's why I don't attack graydle with kaiju, with the kaiju on the field. So I always have one of my strong ones out. So that's it for my monsters. Let's go to spells. Alright, I run 3 waterfronts. Waterfronts are a must-have for the kaijus because this is where they pull their counters. Every card, not monster, not spell, not trap, but every card that hits the graveyard, I gain a counter up to 5. I pull counters off of the cards. I pull 1 counter off if this card is to be targeted and the card is safe. So nothing could hurt the card as long as I have 1 counter on the card. Save the self. Alright, I run 3 graydle impacts. Why, you ask? Because this is a good card. 2 of these on the field, I can get graydle slime out, throw these things in the graveyard, bring out another monster from another graydle monster I should say, from my graveyard, so that way I could synchro summon. I also have this, if I get rid of a graydle monster, I could target 1 monster on the field, destroy that, or at the end of my turn, I go in my deck and grab 1 graydle card, any graydle card. It could be a graydle impact, it could be a graydle split, graydle eagle, whoever it is, as long as it has graydle in the name, I could take it.
So it's important to run at least 2 or 3 impacts just because it's a great search for your graydles.
Yes, great search for my graydles, and also it helps me tribute. If I have to get a slime out or anything else, okay, I go to graydle impact. Alright, I run 2 mass change. Not many people see or know why I run 2 of the mash change. I'm going to get into that right now because I haven't seen it run in a graydle deck. So I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll put these to the side so I can come back and remember. I run a new out of the box set twin twister. This one lets me discard a card, target 2 spells, trap cards on the field, destroy them. Really good card. I like that one a lot actually. I run 1 foolish. Foolish is to get graydle slime out of my deck into the graveyard so I can use this effect. 1 supply squad. You know why? It's monster goes destroyed. I gain a card. I need that. 1 terraforming. May go to 2, but I haven't decided yet because these kind of waterfronts kind of hold their own. But that's gonna get me my waterfronts out. Then I run a new from the box set kaiju slumber. This one lets me kill all of my opponent's monsters, and I can special summon 2 kaiju monsters to each side of the field in attack position. So this is where I would pull out like Garcil and Dogoran. I would summon this to their side, Dogoran to my side, kill them. So that's a great card. Alright.
Now, are you gonna bounce? Are you gonna use bump up your Interpret the Kaiju Slumber up to 2?
Oh yes, I'm gonna bump that up. As soon as I get another card, I pull this one in the sneak peek. So I'm gonna wait because I bought 3 more boxes. I'm also selling these on eBay too, not these ones, but I'm also gonna sell some more on eBay. But I bought 3 more boxes, so I'll be guaranteed to pull. I'm gonna bump this one up to 2 at least.
Now, what about twin twisters? Are you gonna, just because it's a double MST?
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep it at 1? Or
I might keep it at 1 because it's not real necessary, since you'll see my extra deck and the Graydle Dragon is kind of an MST too, along with some other things that I have that can blow up some fields. So I'll keep that at 1. Let me go to mash change. Let me show you. Which I gotta get my extra deck. Bring out my extra deck in a second. I gotta find it. Anyway, mash change. I'll go to this. I run 2, so that way I could bring out acid. Acid works with this deck really well. Water monsters. All Graydles are the water monsters. He's a water monster. Water monster. Acid comes out, blows up the backfield. He's my other MST, so he comes out really easily. I run 2 of him. Let me find the other acid. I run 2 acids, just in case they destroy mine. When he comes out, he lowers the opponent's attack by 300. Hard to kill is 2800. But not many people run mash change with the Graydles, which I think is a good combination.
Now, with acid, does it take out, say that they, for their pendulums, so if they have cards in pendulum zones, does it affect their pendulum monsters as well?
It should blow out everything that's a spell or trap. So yeah, if their things counteract as a spell in their pendulum zone, it should take them out, wipe it clean. Alright, now next one. 3 Graydle splits. Another Graydles, you have to have the Graydle splits. I run 3 because I think it's a must. Just with this card by itself, you could attach it to any monster, not a Graydle monster, any monster. The attack goes up 500, and it doesn't go off the field, nothing until it gets blown off the field by MST or something, whatever. But it'll stay on that monster for 500 points for attack. But I want to blow that monster up. I could blow that monster up, throw this in the graveyard, activate it, and I can summon 2 Graydle monsters from my deck. So that's when I summon Graydle Slime or Graydle Eagle, whoever I want, and then that's instant synchro. So I run 3 of them because it's a must, I think. I run 2 Wabuku. Saves my monsters, saves my life points. It works good. Run 2 Dark Bribes. Why Dark Bribe? Because it's a great card. Saves me from Mirror Force, saves me from anything actually. Regeki, I don't mind letting my opponent draw a card as long as I'm safe and my monsters stay on the field. Skill Drain, I run 1. Why? That's a good card to have. It hurts the opponent so much. It would also hurt me too if I played it at the wrong time. If I play it when I need a Graydle Slime on the field, it stops Graydle Slime's ability, so then I can't pull his monster from the graveyard. So it could hurt me, it could benefit me. It benefits me as long as I can steal the monsters, so it doesn't hurt me at that point. Bottomless and Magic Cylinder. Magic Cylinder because I don't want to destroy the other side. I want to take their monsters. So I just put the life points back onto them because I still want to win. You want to win, of course. So I put the life points back on them and take theirs away while being able to still take their monster. So that's my traps. Let's go to the extra deck real quick.
No, that's for your trackers. Are you gonna add anything else for one for the boss set?
I don't know. I thought about adding the other Mirror Forces coming out. That one looks like a good card, but I don't know.
What about Solemn Mistake?
That's a good card, but I think I'd rather sell it for $78 right now. That's actually a great card. I like that card a lot, but I'd rather sell it for money because I don't need it right now. And if it gets lower, I might buy it back. But right now, it's going for $78. If I get it, it's gonna be on eBay. I'm gonna sell it. So, extra deck. 2 acids, which I already showed you. You know what he does. Then I run 3 Graydle Dragons, because I have to. They go with the deck. When he comes to get single summon, depending on the water monsters I use, he lets me target up to 2 cards on the opponent's field. Doesn't matter what they are. Monster, spell, trap, pendulum, I don't care. Lets me target 2 and get rid of them. Has to have. Then I run a Scarlight. Oh, my bad, that's not Scarlight right there. That's Scarlight right there. Scarlight's a great card for this because he's instant too. Adds 500, like, he takes away 500 points from every special summon monster your opponent has. Each turn. Once per turn. So, all those pendulums got special summon. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe like 2,000 points right away. So I run them. Then I run a Spark Dragon just to save my monsters sometimes. They don't really come out very often. I run these 5 mostly. Or 5, 6. These 6 mostly. It's technically these 5 cards, but 6 monsters. This is my go-to deck. Extra deck. But Stardust just in case I need to protect somebody. Red Dragon, Archfiend just in case the opponent keeps playing defense position all the time. This will take out all the defense monsters, but I had to attack with all my cards. Let's see. I run some XYZs. XYZs are, I don't go into them a whole lot. It depends on who I'm playing and what I'm playing before I go into some XYZs. The Arrow Shark, I run him. I don't, like I said again, I don't use these guys at all. This one's for, I've been playing some decks that use Dark Law. So when Dark Law banishes my monsters, I could inflict 100 damage to my opponent for all my banished monsters. Because Dark Law is a pain in the butt. So if he takes my monsters out, I take their life points. Then I use one Shark Caesar. You should know what Shark Caesar does, because he's been around forever and apparently he's on the list for everybody. I use a Down Magician just in case I throw it over. Run a Nightmare Shark, Acid Golem, and this is one of my favorite cards, the F-Zero. F-Zero's, if I have 2 XYZs out, which you could do really easily. You get 2 XYZs, put them together. Now, this is kind of works like with the Graydle's deck. You attack with this one, and you could take control of the opponent's monster. So now, you got XYZ that can take opponent's monsters, and it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, which is a great card. That's the Graydle / Kaiju deck. So I plan on making tweaks, probably come in 2 weeks, so I'll make another Graydle Kaiju deck update probably in February. If you guys want to see a deck or anything, because we go to locals, so we can ask around and see if we find people with decks. We're going to try to do a lot of decks that we can find. But if you guys have any deck questions, need help trying to build some stuff, need some cards, not need some cards, I'm not going to give you cards unless you're a 25 subscriber, then I'm going to give you some cards. But if you need card advice, or deck advice, anything that you want to see, just shoot us a comment, and I reply back fast, so you'll know.
Now, my question is for your kaiju and graydle deck, or it's probably what the viewers are going to ask too. Do you see this going to be a big problem with the support that the Cosmos just got out with Cosmo Joe and Tin Can, Eclipser, and do you see this? Do you see your graydles actually performing better, even though Cosmos and Performance Mages, can't forget who got the sorcerer, the top of my head. Even though they got their support. Do you see this still being a good tier deck?
No. This deck will never be able to handle all of the upper decks. I mean, they paid good money for those decks for a reason. I'm not paying thousands of dollars for a deck that's gonna get hit by a ban list. This deck's just not gonna compete with the rest of the decks. Okay, sorry, I had to cut the video off for a second, had to go back. But this deck will never compete with the top tier decks. It's fun to play, which I like to play fun, because this deck cost me maybe about 80 bucks, 80 to 100 bucks, depending on the freaking XYZs and acid and stuff is what cost me the most. But actually XYZs didn't cost me. It was a Great Dragons and stuff, 5 bucks.
Now you're saying this is good. This is for all the new starts that are coming out from for Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. Do you think this will be a good starter deck, even though it's a good budget deck?
Yeah, it's a good
swarms, DDs, and everything else.
Yes, and this deck is an easy deck to learn because you're just still monsters. It's easy to read. They all have kind of good effects. I have my other cousin running this deck because it's very easy to play. He tried to run DDs, he gets confused. So this is a very good starter deck to run. So it's good, it keeps you in the game, you have fun. It's a fun deck. I make fun decks to play that I like to play, like the BLS and stuff. I make decks that you just want to play and have fun. You're not gonna win worlds with this. You're not gonna win originals. You may not even place in your freaking locals, but you'll have fun playing the deck and you'll have fun beating people. Alright, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook. I'm going to put a link down below on Facebook so we can update all the videos and cards and stuff I get from the new Bosch. Alright, that's it.